Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Yvonne here from My Halal Kitchen. I am so excited today to do an interview I've been wanting to do for such a very long time. Please welcome my guest, Javed Younis, CEO of Maya Cosmetics. Assalamu alaikum, Javed. How are you?
Walaikum salam, and thank you for having me, Yvonne. It's very nice to see you again.
Well, it's so nice to have you, and we have had conversations on the phone a lot about your halal nail polish and all of the products related to, let me just get that in the screen, all of the products related to halal nail polish, a Muslim woman's dream. You've been in business a long time. We first met, I think, at the ICNA conference back in Chicago several years ago. That was the first time I actually met you, but we had talked a little bit before. Maya Cosmetics, for those of you who don't know, is a fantastic halal cosmetics company that really specializes and launched in the halal nail polish business.
Right. Thank you for that introduction, Yvonne. That's exactly correct. We've actually been in business 6 years now. Next month will be our sixth year. We had started back in 2016 and have grown steadily since that time. So again, my name is Javed Younis. I am one of the co-founders of the company. I'm also currently the president and CEO. My background is essentially in the beauty industry. So um, I had graduated from NIU and immediately begun my career in the beauty sector. Um, it wasn't until 2007 that we had actually, I had first dabbled in halal products. I was fortunate enough to go to Hajj that year, Alhamdulillah, and shortly after my return to the United States, I was simply looking back over my life, over my business, and I came up with the idea of doing a Hajj personal care set, which basically consists of halal toiletries that also have to be free of scent to be used on the journey. So I launched that product in 2007. We were able to get it into a few stores. It didn't do as well as I would have hoped, but the seeds were planted for bigger and better things to come.
Yeah, that was, Wade, sorry to interrupt you, but Wade, I remember that time period, and that was something so novel and new to find in sort of your like little stores, little ethnic or stores that would sell prayer rugs and hijabs and things like that.
Exactly.
But I do remember that time period. That was where things were starting to really be innovated in this space. So you were a pioneer there at that time.
Right. And quite honestly, the product did have some design flaws. It didn't take off as well as I would have hoped it to, but it was a good learning experience for me. Um, Fast forward about 7 or 8 years, and I was on a trade mission with the state of Illinois. I think it was in Japan or someplace like that.
Oh, wow.
And we came up with the idea of doing halal cosmetics, halal nail polish. Now, understand that Maya Cosmetics, we didn't invent breathable technology. It was actually already on the market.
Mhm.
What we did was we tweaked it and allowed it to perform better for Muslims doing wudu. So by the spring of 2016, we had launched the line and sold our very first bottle of halal nail polish. And Alhamdulillah, we've seen steady growth in these first 5 years of our business.
Well, I'd like to just take a pause here to sort of summarize Maya Cosmetics for everybody, and also to sort of um, give people a bit of an idea of for those of you who are just joining us or that have questions about, why do cosmetics need to be halal, or should they be halal for Muslim consumers, or why specifically nail polish has to be wudu friendly. And for people who don't know what wudu is, that's the ablution that Muslims make before prayer. So those are the two things we're really going to dive into in just a moment. But I just want to give Maya Cosmetics an overview for those of you who have never heard of the company before, which I doubt because some of you guys are super popular. But I have put a link up in the comment section, www.maya-cosmetics.com, so you can take a browse and look at all their awesome products. If you have questions about them during the discussion, you can ask us here. But I do want to just tell you guys what Maya Cosmetics is about. They're a leading nail polish brand in America, nail polish and cosmetics brand focusing on halal, vegan, and health conscious markets. Started in 2016, their products are currently distributed in about 100 plus independent retailers, including salons, pharmacies, fashion boutiques, gift shops, and more. Products are made in the USA and currently exported to 30 countries. So I know that in speaking with you in the past, I've asked you, like when I was in Turkey or in Canada, you told me that your products were available in those places. So number one, I mean, like for a girl who likes to travel and be in different places, that's so cool. And also just to be able to make this available to people throughout the world. No wonder you guys were awarded Halal Product of the Year in 2020, right? And who gave you that award?
That was the American Halal Council that issued the award. I believe you were at the reception there as well, and
it was virtual. I was there virtually. Yes.
I feel that here.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, this was actually just as we had completed our 5th year in business. It was also at the height of COVID. So for us, it was. Exactly right. It was a very timely recognition for us as we were just starting to rebuild after COVID. But alhamdulillah, we are almost back to the same place where we were prior to COVID, where, as you had mentioned, in about 100 plus retailers, and we've built our export back to about 30 countries. So it's been a difficult 2 years, but alhamdulillah, we're recovered.
But I think when we spoke, when I came back from Turkey and it was in the thick of COVID, when I spoke, and what I saw that was the silver lining was that more people were going online, because I've gotten your products online. And let me just tell everybody, if I can just kind of say right now, because 2 of my favorite of your products are the black seed nail polish, which I never ever thought that I would like black nail polish. This is so nice, and I get so many compliments on it. And I love the name because it's called Black Seed, which is so special for us as Muslims. So this healing nail polish remover. Now I wish my local like Walgreens and CVS carried it, because when I'm in a pinch, I just run out of it, and I was like, I have to have this one because it smells so nice. And it does feel healing. It doesn't smell toxic or anything. My nails were really, nice and cared for afterwards. But I mean, I've used your products and I love them. So I think that buying them online is yes, you have them in all these amazing retailers, but people who are probably shopping more online can, pretty much find whatever they're looking for on your website. And we're carrying them on the My Halal Kitchen shop too.
Right. I appreciate that. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why we've been able to survive through these difficult past 2 years, is because a good portion of our business was already online. We obviously increased that once we got into the thick of things under COVID. Today, I would say almost 40% of our distribution is done online through our own website, through other e-commerce sites, and through our clients' websites as well. So
that's the way to do it. You guys were on trend, you were on point, before COVID. So you were well positioned for that. Alhamdulillah. That's amazing.
I certainly agree. In business, you have to diversify. Otherwise, it's going to be a difficult road ahead.
And you don't have an easy job, because the $1 million question is, how can nail polish be halal or wudu friendly? And for those of people who, I'm always talking about food being halal and looking at ingredients, but it's the same for cosmetics. First of all, what's in the products? Are they halal? Are they, allowable? But then you've got this extra layer in nail polish that deals with the wudu part. So I'm going to let you explain, because I know a lot of people really have a hard time understanding or feeling convinced about it. And we're not here to, push that. It's just that the information is out there. You've done all the research. You've talked to scholars. You know your business inside and out. So I'm going to let you explain, what is that $1,000,000 question? How is it wudu friendly, halal?
Sure, sure. No, that's definitely the most important question on the table. So there's two aspects for Muslims, for observant Muslims. Number one being halal, and number two being safe for wudu as well.
Mm-hmm.
We are halal certified by Ifanka, and they would break it down into several steps. So the first and most obvious when we talk about halal is, as you mentioned, ingredients. We are looking for animal derivatives. We are looking for prohibitive or intoxicant alcohol that may be in the product. And a lot of cosmetics do have those types of ingredients that are not permissible. So even before we launched in 2016, we were able to get halal certification to make sure that there was nothing questionable in the product. In addition to ingredients, they also look at production as well. How is the manufacturing done? What's the environment like? Is it clean? Is it safe? Is there a risk of contamination? Third, they look at storage and transportation as well. Again, is there any risk of contaminating with products that may not necessarily be permissible?
Right.
And then,
can I just stop you for that? Because people, just to kind of clarify there, it's the same with food. So whenever there's a production line, things are not always produced by the same business. So if two businesses kind of intersect their products, and certain things get into the bottles that aren't halal, so Ifanka is making sure that this line, this brand is all halal, in not just ingredients, but like what happens during that filling process, right? When they're filling the bottles and all of that.
Exactly. And this particular year, Ifanka actually did a very, very thorough audit of our facility and our supply chain. So I would like to suggest that customers can feel very, very comfortable with the halal certification we have. It took several months this year, in particular, probably because of the post-COVID environment. It took several months for our audit to be completed. But again, it was very thorough. And to me, halal is a great responsibility. So I feel very confident in the results that Ifanka was able to achieve with our product.
Well, that's fantastic, because I think consumers are way more knowledgeable today. They're way more discerning. They're way more educated and informed about everything. And that's a great thing. And I think that the fact that you're also vegan and health conscious, makes a lot of people comfortable. So I love when halal products combine that with something organic or all natural or vegetarian, just because it can really expand the consumer base and make people who might not necessarily think of something halal or might not even be Muslim, that they can still enjoy halal products. That makes me very proud and happy. So
I would agree with that wholeheartedly, but I would also add that has been the most difficult part of my job. Selling halal to Muslim consumers is relatively achievable, but selling halal to non-Muslims is a real challenge. Here in America, as you know, there's a bit of a stigma associated with anything that might be marketed as halal. So bringing this to mainstream has a real set of challenges. So I'm hoping to continue to work on that as this product evolves and our brand awareness also evolves as well. But that has been a real challenge to bring halal cosmetics to the mainstream.
Yeah. I would say that that's not just your responsibility, it's ours, all of us in the halal industry, to work together. And that's why I'm doing this interview, because I feel like all of us in the halal industry have a responsibility to educate and inform and to really convey the message of what is something that is truly halal, and to create those of us who are product creators, to create things that really stand by those values and bring that standard to the level that it's supposed to be. So you're doing that, and those of us in the industry who love what you do, we're rallying behind you. You know, I know American Halal Council gave you that award for a reason, and you know, they're working hard too to promote the education of halal. So there's a lot going on for entrepreneurs like yourself who are in the halal space, because sometimes we forget that, you know, you're not just creating this product, you're also trying to, you know, teach and you know, get your product out to the masses, you know, not just the halal consumer market, because that's the way forward, I believe.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, it's going to take time, especially here in the United States. It is probably a little bit easier in certain parts of the world, Europe, South Africa, places like that. But again, the biggest challenge is here in America. But inshallah, slowly and surely, we will get there.
Well, you just mentioned South Africa, and we have a comment from Morida. She's asking, is the product available in South Africa?
Yes, it is actually. It's one of our strongest export markets.
Oh, amazing.
In fact, we began exporting there probably in about 2017. There are stores in Cape Town, there's stores in Joburg, and I believe that it's also available in Durban as well. So I'll be happy to. In fact, if you go on our website, you'll be able to reach out to our distributors based in South Africa.
Okay, I'm just leaving that comment there for that reader. Oh, awesome! That is awesome. And tell me where in Turkey, because you know my feelings about being there. Where in Turkey are you?
You're going to be heartbroken, Yvonne, but actually we're not available in Turkey. Turkey actually has a lot of controls over shipping of flammable products. Nail polish is considered flammable. So there's about 5 countries around the world that are extremely difficult to ship to. So we have yet to find an importer who's willing to have that addressed.
Well, if anybody's out there listening and wants to get, because there's so much potential there, you know, there's so much, and I would
agree. I've gotten calls and emails from numerous folks in Turkey, so it's a country we'd love to work with, and inshallah in the future it'll be an open market for us.
Inshallah. Yeah, they're a fantastic market to be in for what you do. So, well, we'll keep you in mind for that. So, yeah, I find it fascinating because it's really not easy to get your products distributed in the U.S., let alone internationally. So, you'll grow, and there's no shortage of people who are wanting halal products around the globe these days. It's amazing how the market is just, you know, expanding and expanding more and more every year. So that demand is going up, which is really great. And more people like you who create great products will have good business, inshallah. So one of the things you mentioned to me before the interview was that you guys recently signed the climate pledge, and I don't know how much more timely this could be, and I don't know much about it, but just hearing the words climate pledge, I'm sitting here in what should be sunny San Diego, and we're having what looks like torrential rain and storms. I don't know if it came from the tornadoes in the Midwest, but I can't help but think about climate change and all of that. So tell us about the climate pledge and why you signed it, what it is and why you signed it.
Well, the climate pledge is basically an agreement by businesses, business owners, business leaders to help reduce carbon emissions. It's based off of the Paris Agreement, the Paris Accords, which the United States had signed on to, I think back in maybe 2016 or so. Under President Trump, he actually withdrew from the Paris Accords, but when Joe Biden stepped into and onto the Paris Agreement. So basically, we are pledging to reduce pollutants, carbon dioxide emissions that will do harm to the environment. And Maya Cosmetics ourselves, we do not emit. However, some of our subcontractors do. So our goal is really to have everybody in our supply chain to produce a clean product that does little or no harm to the environment. And I've only completed 2030.
We're having a little bit of trouble hearing you.
Why pollution and concern for the environment have been there for me since I was a child. So as a kid, there's not much business owner. You actually have a little more power and ability to do things about that you're passionate about. So I am hoping we can make some immediate changes around our supply chain, but more importantly, it will inspire others in the community, in the Muslim community, especially business owners, especially manufacturers, to make a difference, reduce your carbon emissions, and make this a better place for ourselves and for the next generation as well.
Inshallah. I think that really demonstrates the ethical values behind a halal business, and in doing so, it's not just about just the fact that the product is halal, but that the entire business process has some ethical values standing behind it, and that's reflection of our religion. So that's wonderful to hear, and I hope more people get involved with something like that. I didn't know there was something like that for businesses, so that's fantastic.
It was, I believe, it was started by Jeff Bezos, the president of Amazon, the founder of Amazon, and so far I believe there's about 300 larger major corporations and a number of smaller businesses like ourselves that have signed on as well. As far as I know, ours is probably the first Muslim-owned business that signed on to the climate pledge. But again, inshallah, it will inspire others to follow suit. And
yes,
there's definitely a greater good there.
That's great. That's so fantastic. And I hope more people do follow you in that regard. Can we go back to the topic of the wudu friendly? I had a question. Well, it was more like a comment that came to me when I promoted the interview on Instagram. Someone sent me information questioning the difference between water permeability and breathable nail polish. And I really never thought of those two things. Can you explain?
Right. I mean, I would define breathable as allowing water or oxygen to permeate the nail polish and reach the surface of the nail. I would define water permeable as water permeating and reaching the surface of the nail. So water permeable nail polish would be a type of breathable nail polish.
Right.
I would define Maya Cosmetics as breathable nail polish. What we did was we took existing breathable technology and we modified it to be more suitable for Muslims performing wudu. So we changed the polymers to allow water to permeate through. And so that's why that's probably the main reason why our product is still an industry leader. Our formulation is long lasting, but at the same time, it's wudu compliant as well. Now, I just want to make sure your listeners understand that there's two limitations to our product. Number one is you're limited on how much you can apply. You can basically apply one layer of color, and then optionally you can apply a top coat if you choose to. That's the maximum amount the scholars have permitted to keep this as wudu compliant.
Interesting.
And the second limitation of the product is as you're doing wudu, you do have to rub your fingertips. This adds about 30 seconds to your wudu as a whole, but it's a small price to pay to protect your wudu.
Why do
Basically,
you have to, excuse me, why do you have to rub your fingertips?
right, the rubbing allows creates enough pressure to allow the water to permeate and reach the surface of the nail. And that's mentioned on our box, on our packaging. I believe that's also mentioned on our website and our marketing materials as well. If you can work with those two limitations, this is just as good as any professional nail polish on the market. It dries quickly. It has decent wear time as well. 36 colors, 3 top coats. So there's quite a variety to choose from.
It does dry quickly, I will say that.
Right, right. So really, we've actually got 2 different certifications, one for being halal and one for being safe for wudu as well.
And so what, I've never heard of a certification for that. Is that also given by Ifanka?
No, there's 2 separate organizations. Ifanka just does the halal certification. IDCP does the wudu certification.
Oh.
And both of those were just renewed this past week, actually. So we'll be posting those on our website here in the next day or 2.
And what is IDCP, if you don't mind?
They're based out of Dallas, Texas, and I believe they have their scholars overseas, I believe in the Philippines, actually. But basically, they also do testing of halal-related products. And they've been a long time supporter of our brand. We ran into them at a convention somewhere around the world, and they've certified us for wudu, I think about 3 years in a row now. So we have a long-standing relationship with them.
So you basically merge the science with the spiritual here. And do you have a science background or chemistry background or anything like that?
No, I'm just a businessman, actually. But we've worked with numerous scientists when we developed this product.
So the scholars, that must be an interesting. I'm just trying to visualize, how the scholars dive into the science of it, or do they visit the labs, or how do they really come to the conclusions?
Right. We provided them a lot of documentation. They basically work with Ifanka's halal certification, and then they do their own testing on the product. And I'm not even familiar with some of the testing that they do. Initially, we did do independent laboratory testing as well, but this is going back about 5 years ago or so. So really, we've addressed the scientific aspect of it, the scholarly aspect of it, as well as the Ifanka more technical aspect of the product as well. Look, Yvonne, I'm a realist, and I understand that this product is not for everybody. I've done expos around the world. I've spoken to folks around the world about this product, and the reality is there is a portion of the Muslim population that will not want anything to do with this product, and I accept that. It's not a personal attack on me, and it's not an attack on the product. This is how they were raised, and of course, they are free to choose whatever they want. For the 80% that are open to looking at products like this, we have the best product on the market for that portion of the population. And it's also not our business to try to persuade anybody to start wearing nail polish. I get a lot of young ladies coming up to me asking me questions about this product. So we do our best to convey the attributes of the product without trying to persuade them to put it on. That's not our job at all. And so those lessons they obviously learn from home, from their community. If they come to us and they're ready to look at halal cosmetics, again, I feel Maya Cosmetics is the industry leader and the best person to work with.
Well, I think that I think you're providing. Some people provide services that are filling a gap in the market, and I think you're providing a product that fills a gap in the market. I know. When I first became Muslim, there were so many things I missed about, just everyday life. There were certain things that I couldn't find that were, weren't halal. I mean, that's why, I was so excited, for example, to see like crescent chicken in the grocery store. The little things made me so happy because, at that time we were just starting to see, I'm talking 10, 12 years ago, an emergence of innovative products, whether they're food or cosmetics. And I know when I met you and learned about your cosmetics, it was just opening this window of things that women like, that we can use. And you've done the legwork. And, as far as I'm concerned, doing your due diligence, working with a reputable certifier like Ivanka, and also now I didn't know about the wudu friendly certification. That's an extra thing. So, I think that someone like, I'm talking my own personal perspective and opinion, is that we do our own due diligence as consumers, but we can only kind of go so far, and then have to trust that what you're saying is transparent and honest. And, I just want nail polish that I can use, that I don't have to take off every time I'm praying. So you're making my life a little bit more fun and colorful. And as a woman, I think lots of women appreciate that. It's like you said, it's not for everybody. Everything halal can be controversial as well. So we leave it at that. But I appreciate that you're so candid with your innovation and your process. It's really important that you're sharing that with us. So I thank you for that, because it's a really big deal.
Thank you. And I completely agree as well. Part of running a halal business is to be open, be transparent. And when you're selling halal, marketing halal, also very, very important to mention all of the attributes and the limitations of that product. And
absolutely.
We try to do that every day.
Well, that's the uniqueness of a halal product in general, but particularly this one, is that most, like, any other regular nail polish, they're probably not talking about their limitations, right? They don't have to. So it's not easy. I always want to tell people, the consumers, that I meet people like yourself who innovate really cool things all the time. And I'm fascinated by people like you, because it's not easy. And you're putting out something great, and you're editing all the time. And we really need to support more businesses like yourself that to make, to help you grow and to get these things available to the masses, So because if we don't support these products, they go away. If we don't support your business, they go away. I've been saying this since day one about chicken, about beef, about convenience products. Like, if we don't support, we don't see them anymore. So, I just urge people to kind of look into things a little bit more deeply. And this interview is a good way to hear it from you. I'm going to stop doing all the talking.
Well, thank you again for those kind words. And really, since Maya Cosmetics started, we've actually gotten a lot of support from the community.
Great.
And as the business evolved over the years, we began to kind of give back to the community as well through various forms of philanthropy. And I'm really proud of the way that the company has evolved in the first 6 years. So Alhamdulillah, inshallah, we will keep up the work that we've been doing.
So I wanted to ask you about the philanthropy, but let's leave that for last, because I think we could go out with a bang. But I want to know about your other products. I mean, we focus so much on the nail polish, but that's not the only thing you carry, I think. And so ladies, this is not just for us. They carry some men's products too. So you can get some nice things for your husbands and brothers and fathers. So tell us about the men's products.
Sure. So we started the men's line about 2 years ago, called Mane by Maya, representing the beard and the hair, facial hair. And so the Mane line consists of numerous products, including beard oil, beard balm, which is obviously halal, free of anything that may not be permissible. available in various scents. Um, it has various ingredients sourced under fair trade. In fact, the
Right.
oils have 20% of the ingredients sourced under fair trade, and the balm more or less the same amount. I think about 15 to 20% of the oils, etc., are sourced under fair trade. Also, a concept that's very, very close at heart to myself. In addition to that, we have various shaving products for men and things like that as well.
So the beard oils, the beard oils and balms, do they help promote thicker beards or more hair growth? Like what's the benefit of men using them?
Right. There is special oils formulated to promote hair growth, castor oil and things like this. And so for younger guys in particular that are looking to grow a fuller beard, the beard oil helps in that a great deal.
What's the younger guys?
Those are usually the ones that are struggling with growing a full beard, I guess. But they also moisturize, they also nourish as well. So it's really for every man. And then there's also gift sets available for the guys as well. So there's quite a selection of men's products. We actually have a product launch that we just announced last week as well, and I'm happy to share that with your audience.
Yeah, sure.
As well. We launched our bridal collection just last week. So brides to be can build their own. I don't know if you can see that on the screen there, but brides to be can build their own gift collection, and of course, the fiancés can also purchase this for their loved ones as well. It's designed for various ethnic communities around the world. There are different wedding processes, different steps. Like in the South Asian community, for example, there's 3 or 4 stages of a wedding. So we put together a nail polish collection for every night leading up to the wedding night.
Oh, that's so smart.
And we built 4 different bridal kits. And inshallah, we've actually got a very good response on this product already.
Oh, nice.
And inshallah, it will continue to grow and help.
What a great gift. What a great gift.
Thank you very much.
So, are those on your website now? I'll have to go and...
I believe, yes, we did put them on the website just this past week. And we've got a few bloggers promoting the product for us as well.
Great.
And then the remaining products in our line, I'll turn this just a little bit here. The nail polish remover, which you've already spoken about, available in 4 different scents. The main advantage with this for Muslim consumers is, number one, that there's no alcohol of any kind, no acetone as well. The primary ingredient is soy, so it's obviously vegan, and at the same time, it's halal as well.
I like the tea tree oil one. That's really nice.
That's one of our best sellers, actually. We have lavender, we have tea tree oil, we have argan and coconut oil as well.
Oh, coconut. That might be my next one.
And we have traditional nail products, files, buffers, and things like this, all made here in the United States. And then, of course, we've always had this stainless steel implements that have been an integral part of our line. And that has helped us a lot, especially in some of the consumer markets we sell to, pharmacies, drugstores, and places like that.
Right.
So we started with a modest range of 6 colors. I
remember.
And now we're at 36 colors and a total of 96 SKUs. So the brand has grown quite a bit in that amount of time, and we're very proud of that.
What's your best-selling product?
The nail polish represents 75% of our business, and there's a color called the Barely There, which is a very simple nude color. It's by far our best seller. Followed by that are some of the reds and the burgundies that do that for us as well.
I love the black seed. It's a popular color, and I could never find it like I never really was interested in it until I saw it that you guys were making it, and then I tried it and I absolutely love it. I never tried it in another brand, so now I'm stuck and I'm almost out. So
Try it with the matte top coat. It looks incredible with the matte over it.
matte top coat. Okay. I will have to do that. With COVID, it's been like I think more and more people didn't want to go out to salons to have their nails done. So people are doing it at home. So I think a lot of the things that you sell, people can just get all of that and just do nails at home, do them with your daughters, your mom. My mom and I do our nails together when we're together. So, I mean, it's good. You have all everything set up ready to go. So spa, salon at home.
Right, exactly.
So I wanted from an entrepreneurial perspective, I try to get whenever I have anybody who's creating their own products on an interview, I like to ask, what advice would you give as an entrepreneur in the halal cosmetics industry? What advice would you give to anyone who's interested in it or wants to start something themselves? Maybe it's makeup, maybe it's hair products. Any advice you would give in your journey?
There's a couple of things that I would strongly recommend. Number one, be original. Try not to emulate others. Do your own thing. Be innovative, solve a problem. And secondly, try to find a partner, find a buddy to work with as well. I see a lot of great ideas in business, and that's fine from the creative perspective. But as far as turning it into a business that distributes, that exports, is a completely different area of expertise. And not all of us have that. I'm not really an expert at anything. I'm a kind of a jack of all trades, but in business, especially in sole proprietorship, if you have a great idea, you still need somebody in business to take that product where you want to take it.
Exactly.
And then, of course, there's business people that have no creativity whatsoever. Exactly. And so really it's a yin yang. You want to have both sides of the equation. So if your strengths are in creativity and innovation, find somebody in the business arena that could help you take this where you want to take it. So that's my second advice. If you want to take the product to the halal market, to the Muslim consumer, we have to take that responsibility very, very seriously. It's not something that can be just kind of used for marketing purposes. If you're going to market this as halal, you have to be sure that it does fit all of the requirements of halal, and maybe even get it certified prior to launching the product as well. That would be very important. And the last recommendation that I would have is to retail as well as wholesale. Some people just like to open up an eBay store and try to begin selling, and they think they can reach the entire world by selling on eBay, and it doesn't really work like that.
No.
You want to be able to distribute to shops. Maya Cosmetics, for example, we sell to pharmacies, to drugstores, modest fashion boutiques. We sell to Islamic specialty stores, beauty shops, salons, and places like that. We have over 100 independent retailers that are selling on our behalf. The only way this works is because we support them. We allow them to make a comfortable margin. We support them with marketing. We support them on social media.
Wonderful.
They may need. So don't try to do everything yourself. You'll never really grow as a business. If you have a point of sale. So those are really some of the recommendations. But I would also say that it's a fun industry. It's a pleasure for me to meet with Muslims from around the world. The funnest part of my job, as I know you also like traveling as well, the funnest part of my job is to take my products to different corners of the world and talk about it and invoke people's curiosity about it and things like that. And that's one of the pleasures of selling to the Muslim community.
So global.
So we are in 30 countries around the world, back to pre-COVID levels.
Great.
South
Fantastic
Africa,
news.
Asia, Western Europe, and places like that.
So
The
proud
product is
of you
available
guys.
in various places.
Well, mashallah, I love your advice because it's thinking big. You know, it's having a vision, having faith in that, and also realizing that you know, you can't do it all yourself, and for, you know, some people want like to take the whole pie for themselves when they don't realize like it doesn't work that way. You end up burning yourself out, not getting any of the pie because you can't. So everybody can benefit. That's in your world. Like you were saying, you know, you give your stores a margin. I love that. Like you're really looking at it from an abundance perspective, not, you know, trying to, you know, it just fantastically visionary and abundant thinking is what really works, and more people should think like that, because you're obviously it's working. You're global, you're international, and that's the only way to do it. I think sometimes people get scared too. They want to, you know, maybe start small, thinking that that's the way to go. But I like the fact that you sort of jumped into that distribution model and like really getting things out there, because
Right.
it's all
And
hard work. So big.
one of the other things that's really helped us is that we also, in addition to working with established retailers, we also work with home-based businesses as well. So late folks or ladies working from home that want to kind of subsidize their income, we kind of allow them to sell Maya in kind of an informal manner until they're able to establish kind of a home-based business. And
sort of like Mary Kay.
exactly, like Mary Kay or Tupperware. If you remember Tupperware back in the 80s, right? And so yeah, this is in the beginning that actually helped us grow quite a bit, because these folks were putting a lot of effort and energy in promoting our products, and we were able to reach corners of the world that we weren't normally able to do with traditional distribution. And so we sell to established retailers as well as home-based businesses. It gives them an opportunity to make an income with the extra time and energy that they have, and also it benefits us in promoting our products in various corners around the world.
And what fantastic word of mouth is that, you know, women in the community just telling their friends about it, friends and family. That's the way, I think that's the way Avon even expanded.
Right.
So, and in the Muslim community, I feel like that is really a huge difference than other niche markets, is that we are so word of mouth. We are so word of mouth. I mean, we love to share something we like, and, you know, especially since so few things are like nail polishes are halal or wudu friendly. I mean, I would imagine it would spread like wildfire in a good way.
Right. Yes, indeed. That's definitely helped our growth in the first few years. Yes, indeed.
So, mashallah, because of all that growth, you have been blessed with the ability to give back, and you have a very philanthropic mindset and active activities going on at Maya. So can you tell us more about that? I know you were very excited to talk about that. So.
Sure, I definitely am. I don't know where this came from, but it started within the first couple of years of Maya Cosmetics. Maybe it was from all the support we had from the community, we received from the community, but we started sponsoring orphans. We started donating to various organizations. We have an annual iftar dinner that we host in our local masjid, and we have usually several hundred people attend that.
In Chicago?
Right, in Chicago, Islamic Foundation.
Islamic Foundation. Okay, right. That's the Lombard area.
Right, exactly. Yes, indeed. And this particular year, I was really proud of the Eid toy drive that we had organized. So basically, we had persuaded 6 or 7 of our distributors around the world to join us in raising funds and collecting toys. and then we redistributed those toys to indigent and needy families and children in those same communities. So we got our distributors in South Africa to participate, in Cambodia, in Canada, as well as Pakistan as well. So we were able to get 5 or 6 of our distributors to contribute. And here in Chicago, we raised money and we collected toys. And on the day of Eid, we had distributed those to various families in the community, including the Sudanese Refugee Center in West Chicago, who was actually doing an Eid toy drive as well. So we collaborated with them and were able to help several hundred families with their Eid needs that particular year. So inshallah, we plan to continue to develop our philanthropy program. The next year, we are planning to do something with water wells. It hasn't been defined just yet, but that's the goal we're looking for, inshallah, in 2022. And we would be looking for partners anywhere around the world that have experience in that type of thing. But I appreciate that question. I appreciate allowing to explore it a little bit more.
Yeah, nail polish makes women happy. So anywhere that that can go to women around the world, I think that's nice. But no, that's fantastic, and I think it's great that you got all your distributors involved, and they can feel more connected to you as a company, and that's really unique. So awesome. There's a couple more questions here. If you don't mind, we can address those before we sign off. Someone is asking, Hamida is asking, is the product, I think she means the nail polish, available in Dubai?
Yes, it is. Actually, we do have a distributor in Dubai. She stocks the product there and can ship within days for you. Again, just reach out on our website, check our distributor page, and you can be connected to her website or her Instagram page.
Okay. And I'll get that link after we're done here. And some Asma Nizamuddin is asking, will you be at Mass ICNA conference later this month?
Yes, inshallah, we will be there. If it's still going on, inshallah, we'll be there. We do plan. In fact, we participated at that event, I think, for 5 years in a row, minus this past year. So we would be happy to join that event this year.
That'll be in Chicago, I think, right?
In Chicago, December 26th through the 28th, downtown.
It's the usual place and time.
Exactly. It's a wonderful event. If you haven't been there, at the peak, they would get 20 to 25,000 Muslim visitors from all over the United States, and even foreign visitors as well. So it's
almost every year for the past 12, 13 years, because I was there in Chicago. I won't go this year because I'm not there, but yeah, for anybody interested in anything related to halal, Islam, there's just the bazaar is amazing. That's where I got to meet so many of you guys, because I used to just go up and down the aisles and meet everybody and figure out what was new. It was just like I was a kid in a candy store, just really soaking it all up, because every year there were more and more interesting products and people, and everybody is doing. That's the thing I really love about our community, is that people are so entrepreneurial. There's so many people doing a side hustle. There's so many people taking that side hustle and moving it into their main gig, and putting their whole heart and soul in things like clothes, honey products, black seed oils, cosmetics, books, everything.
Exactly. Let's not forget the great speakers they have at events like that. And for me, it's a real education to go to an event like that, not just meeting face to face with customers, but networking with other business people, professional scholars, and things like that. So it's a wonderful opportunity. And Chicago is a great city for that as well.
Yeah,
from various Midwestern states will love to converge here in our city. So it's a wonderful event.
Yeah. Well, inshallah, those of you who are watching who will be at the Mass IGNA event can visit Javed and his company at their booth. So you'll have a booth, correct?
Correct. Yes, we do have a booth this year.
All right. So they can they try the nail polish at the booth?
Yes, yes, indeed. We will have a tester station there.
Oh, cool.
So you're welcome to try on anything you like. We'll have specials there as well, show specials. We'll have the bridal kit on display for the first time as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, we have the men's products on one side as well. Mm-hmm. So I invite everybody to come on out. And let's try to reestablish this event. Let's try to reestablish the community coming together at least once a year or so.
I remember when I was there how crowded your booth was. There were so many people just trying to look at all the different colors and everything. So it's such a pleasure to have seen you grow and to flourish. And I wish you all the best and more growth and success in your endeavors, and such a benefit to the community, and so much fun to have all the different colors of nail polish, I must say.
Thank you again for your kind words, and I really appreciate the honor the opportunity to speak to your audience. And inshallah we can do this again sometime.
Inshallah, yes. We'll meet again when more and more stuff comes out, or we just want to have another conversation. So I really encourage all of you who are watching to continue adding your questions and comments. I will pass those on to Javed if we have any more. And you can share this with your family and friends, anybody you think is interested in knowing more about this topic. And you can watch the replay on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/myhalalkitchen. Javed Younis, thank you so much for joining me, and have a blessed day. Thank you again.
Thank you, Yvonne. Take care.
Assalamu alaikum.